Hi, hello. Welcome back to the detailed lecture series on UGC Net English. In the previous class, we discussed the biography of the famous Irish writer, Seamus Heaney. Today we have another topic, the Lollard Movement or Lollardy. The Lollard Movement or Lollardy. Lollardy was a medieval reform movement based on the writings and teachings of the Oxford University theologian John Wycliffe. Wycliffe's followers were known as the Lollards. It was used as an abusive term and was derived from Lulliam, which was used early in the 14th century in the sense of a hypocrite. So remember, Lollards or Lollard movement comes from the term Lulliam, which once meant hypocrite. Wycliffe's followers, or the Lollards, not only attacked many beliefs and practices of the church, but also demanded social reforms. It was never an organized movement in the sense of a modern religious or secular organization. There was no head Lollard or organizational hierarchy of Lollards. Rather, Lollards were simply people tied together by a set of beliefs. Those beliefs varied in focus and intensity from one person to the next. Let's analyze the main beliefs of the Lollards or the followers of the Lollard movement. The Lollards believed that the Pope had no part to play in worldly affairs. They also believed the church was too worldly. Monasticism had drifted from its spiritual foundation. The Bible should be available to everyone in their own language. Dominion is of grace, that is, true power is God's, and attempts to use power for individual gain is therefore wrong. As human beings, we are all brothers. So once more, remember the main ideas followed by the Lollards. The Pope had no part to play in worldly affairs. The church was too worldly. Monasticism had drifted from its spiritual foundation. The Bible should be available to everyone in their own language. Dominion is of grace, that is, true power is God's, and attempts to use power for individual gain is therefore wrong. And they ultimately believe that as human beings, we are all brothers. The origins of Lollardy can be traced to the writings of John Wycliffe. Wycliffe was a churchman, writer, and also a theologian. So Wycliffe can in many respects be considered the father of the English Reformation. This is a very, very important point. Remember, John Wycliffe is called the father of English Reformation. And certainly his ideas provided a platform upon which the later reformers built. Wycliffe began a translation of the Bible into English. For the time, this was an act of extreme courage and a one which brought him into direct conflict with the church in Rome. It is worth noting that there were already portions of the Bible available in English, but no complete translation. Wycliffe's Bible came out in 1382. Remember, it is very, very important. Wycliffe's Bible came out in 1382. We can say from 1382 onwards. Wycliffe's Bible, as it was called, was widely distributed throughout England and had a huge influence at the time. Predictably, it was denounced by the church as an unauthorized and inaccurate translation. The Lollards preached to the common people in the English language and sowed the seeds for the Reformation movement. The initial spread of Wycliffe's views touched all levels of English medieval society. Wycliffe was supported by the nobility and by prominent academics, and in many ways became the voice of the lower clergy and the layman. But it was among the lower classes that a Lollardy had its most enduring adherents. Though Wycliffe himself died in 1384, Lollardy as a movement lasted until well into the following century. So Wycliffe died in 1384. His Bible came out in 1382. So that's all about the topic, the Lollards or the Lollard Movement or Lollardy. In the next class, we will discuss one of the novels written by R.K. Narayan. The title of the novel is The English Teacher.